Yeah, I think we had some issues before, but the stream's gonna work now. I got my audio output. Mic, mic is good. I see it on OBS. Um, all right, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and play. I mean, is it premature to play the victory dance? Let's disregard that. Let's just um, let the MAGA spirit, um, you know, let the MAGA spirit flow. Uh, He's got some. He's got some dance moves. You know what I'm saying? Like that's cool. I can relate to that. So this is a historic election, folks. 2020. Um, what are the implications? What does it mean? What does it mean if Biden gets in? Does it mean the deep state's going to get stronger? What's the um, what's the formula for making America and Americans stronger? Just your regular blue collar workers and your you know middle class and so forth. Like, are we tired of the transnational elites and big tech dictating how things are gonna be? They're gatekeeping the information. You know, we got decentralized social media coming up. We got things that they cannot control, and I think that's beautiful. So yeah, I am MAGA all the way. Um, I hope that in this next 4 years, assuming he gets it, and I hope he does. If he doesn't, then we're gonna have to grind a whole lot harder. That he works to get this corruption out of politics. Politics shouldn't be people's piggy bank to do some insider trading and doing other things at the expense of the American people. You know what I'm saying? It should be about serving the people that elect you. And we just got too much foreign and corporate interest. Hey, my yeah, I had a flak jacket get placed on my MAGA hat. It was an upset, but I think it. No, it might be my. Is it crooked? Crooked. And check it out. Check it out. Check this out right here. Right here. What's that say? Oh, oh, oh. Made in USA. See, we need more of that. We need more manufacturing in the USA. We need more jobs for Americans, especially in post-pandemic times. So I think this man, he's shown that he's shrewd to at least, and a lot of, well, I mean, he's shrewd. He's shrewd. I'm not even gonna qualify that statement. Um, yeah, despite the media spin, despite everything they do to gun for him, whether it's Russiagate, and every sort of debunked conspiracy theory. I don't think, like, why is the deep state and big tech and all these powers gunning for him if he's one of them? I mean, tell me, it just doesn't make sense. Why? I'm gonna get biblical on y'all. A house divided against itself cannot stand, and that's how I see this scenario. Y'all could argue that, it doesn't matter. The choice, it's illusory. It's an illusion, and I beg to differ. I went out for early voting, and no, it ain't no 5 hour wait time to vote. If you pick the right polling place, there's options. People are helpful on like next door. They'll say, hey, oh, there's no wait at such and such location. And yeah, we went to our city hall and there was a line wrapping around the building and we're like, noped out of there. Went to another polling place and it was like 30 minutes in and out, done deal. So yeah, I think this man, if we get 4 more years of this, we can turn things around and secure our Constitution, secure the First Amendment, secure the Second Amendment, secure our freedom, secure the checks and balances in place to prevent a tyrannical government, big government, from putting us under its heel. Um, it's about damn time, and that's what I got to say about that. What do we got on Twitter? Yeah, Bernie Sanders. He, I guess I got to agree with him on this point. The Democrats have been the party of the coastal elites. Their heads are so far up their ass, um, and disconnected from your average Joe. Like it doesn't really matter so much for them. They think that like, what was the prediction? The world was going to end at such and such time. AOC said like 10 years or something like that. And that was a minute ago, but it doesn't look like that. And this isn't a video about global warming and whether it's a man-made phenomenon or if it's other um, other things at work. The fact of the matter is, we have people who have jobs in like the oil industry, and their jobs, their livelihoods are at jeopardy if these coastal elites get power and start, oh no, let's start phasing out internal combustion engines. Let's start, putting all these big government contracts and money in these Green New Deal projects. All the bureaucracy. Um, we know that government isn't. It's not a something that is characteristically efficient. I'll refer to Ron Swanson for that, or Ron Swanson on government. Got a video? There we go. Limited government, people. Free market. Yeah. Based. All right, let's base check. I don't know about his views as an actor,
Based?
but let's give him one.
Based? Hello?
Um, so yeah, I think it's absolutely critical, and it is. There's consequence to this election. Um, Either way you shake it. So like on one hand, we're gonna have more stronger border policy. Um, we're not gonna have this like influx of people whose views are irreconcilably different than your average American that like believes in the vision of our founding fathers that drafted the Constitution. I mean, that document, it was genius. However, it wasn't perfect. It didn't. They were not like Nostradamus in their foresight to see the sort of things that we see today with all these career politicians pandering for votes, trying to play this role as like knee jerk. They care about the downtrodden, while um, they don't think about the consequences, the long term impact, um, and so people that are nationalistic in their political persuasion, we see what happens when we saw what happened with 8 years of Obama, um, and you know, the the demographic shift. It's as if they're trying to import voters that are more agreeable to their agenda, and this is affirmed. And you know, looking at the statistics, Red Elephant, Red Elephant has been banned from YouTube. Red Elephants, he has put out a lot of good insight as to our current dilemma. Let's see if we can find them on
Based?
decent. Oh, let's.
Based?
All
Hello?
right, hold up, chill, Nick. Not yet, not yet. Am I looking a bit shoot? I mean, I'm more of a DTube kind of guy, to be honest. But all right, so search function, the red elephants, right? Vince. Yeah, you know what? I miss Vince on YouTube. And I don't know why, man. Why do I got a freaking YouTube red? I guess because the music, but at the same time, like I'm supporting this entity that is censoring people for ideological reasons that are like indefensible. They'll just ban someone, say blah 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 community guidelines when he's spitting straight facts. All right. Um, so let's see what we can find here on the. Yeah, and you also talk on, and that's one of the more taboo topics, the Zionism, the our Zionist occupied government. How did that happen, and how do we change it? How do we turn the dial back to more America centric foreign policy, not foreign policy that yeah I almost wanna check this one. Um, Now I know we got Jared Kushner in the administration as a advisor, but like, hey, enough of the forever wars. I spent my 11 months in the sandbox, and in retrospect, I contemplate like, what was I doing over there? Um, was it destabilizing to for the gain of a certain nation over there? I think so. I'm gonna be straight up. That's um, it hasn't been about the things that uh, the things that they try to put out there. Yeah, he got banned from YouTube, right? Um, yeah, I don't want to start like re-upload my stupid gamer headphones. Stay on. Um, re-uploading content that had been scrubbed from YouTube, like red pill content. All right, Texas will. Yeah, I'm concerned about that. I'll tell you what, but again, everything is, it's, you know, God's plan. Whatever's gonna go down. If America is gonna flip, I mean, like going blue is essentially just um, throwing your country away, throwing your, whatever your ancestors fought for. Like I have family that, or ancestors that like one that died in the freaking Alamo. So yeah, and Grandpa fought in World War II. Like, um, they were doing what they thought was right for their, preserve their posterity, right? And I am not about to just throw it all away for this kind of bleeding heart. Not in like it's not practical and pragmatic ideology that doesn't properly um, properly what's the word I'm searching for, appraise the consequences, long term macro impact of things. All right, so let's see. Yeah, he's been getting it. I mean, I look up to like their work and what they do, and we need more of it, and especially if things don't go favorably this election, um, we're gonna have definitely a lot of work because the media, the enemy of the people, the media has been working, and they have the resources, they have the big bucks, money, to push an agenda and to suppress things that are contrary to um, their narrative. I wanted to see the one about. I mean, you can just tell by the thumbnails. You tell by the thumbnails. Um, let's see what we can find. The red elephants, voting, statistics, demographics. So, at the very core, the base of like um, my political ideology is this acknowledgement of cause and effect, and then the effect thereafter and thereafter, and like kind of like chain of dominoes. And I think people, a lot of people, they don't think too deeply into what this means for our future. 2050, Democrats will have 68 million more voters alive than Republicans. And of course, he got banned. So, yeah, see, check it out. I don't know why these people are working on BitChute. There's other options, like, put some of this stuff on DTube or 3Speak. If we got one of these guys on those platforms, it would be like um, pretty big deal from an onboarding perspective because they have massive audiences. And this is something I've harped on time and time again. Um, I know that has been primarily kind of liberal leaning libertarian. Um, and so the idea, and again, I've said this before, I'm half Hispanic, but I know how Hispanics their voting tendencies, but I think it's shifting. I think more becoming savvy to, hey, these people aren't really working for us. They're just they're playing this identity politics. In identity politics, it could be like a double-edged sword. Um, so some people are just like, oh no, no identity politics at all. Um, I'm not one of those. I understand that because of the demographic, the voting patterns, that it you got to be cognizant of the statistical realities of how certain demographics vote. Yeah, are there exceptions? Absolutely, but the exceptions do not dictate the rule. So it's just something to be mindful of. Like, so how? I guess the question is, how are people from these third world nations that we're bringing into America, and like um, we've had I've seen countless articles where just like it just seems like kind of like is the word gratuitous, but they it's just you get these slick um, silver-tongued Democrats get them all these promises, and it's essentially kind of like buying votes. We have the welfare state, and that's something I disagree with. I have family members that are on welfare, and I get there's some legitimate cases, but a lot of times it's rife for abuse. Um, so I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but gosh darn it, where is the terminated. And it's like all these journalists that are, I remember when journalism was something that was like respected in the process, but nowadays you get these like anonymous sources said Trump um, was literally Hitler, and that goes straight to the top on your you know our politics and other subreddits that do have foreign interests in mind. Uh, Reddit, big stakeholder, Tencent, CCP. Why is it that Joe Biden is the CCP's favorite to be elected? It's almost like, do y'all realize the optics involved in that? I would have like disavow. Y'all are genociding the Uyghurs but no, they can't check the NBA for instance. Um, so, but big tech, yeah, Jared, what was the fella's name? Jared Taylor, another one, realist. That's what I'll call it. We understand that there's certain cultures and certain demographics that are prevalent in that culture, and it's like these ideas do not exist in a vacuum. These ideas lead to like behavioral patterns, decisions, and so it's just kind of understanding things like the domino effect. And we're not talking about, oh no, I was thinking of butterfly effect, but anyways, okay, here's Harvard University. Oh wow.
Harvard has released.
Let's see what else. Oh, we can't even get him. That's his that's his advertiser. Let's see what he has to say.
Harvard has released a, quote, radical proposal to, quote, fix America's democracy that divides Washington, D.C. into 127 new states, adding enough votes in Congress to rewrite the Constitution and inevitably eliminate the Electoral College forever, to make every vote count, as they say from Harvard, and as Democrats have been trying to do for quite some time. As a matter of fact, there was a coalition that formed. Actually, it's still forming, honestly, where states have joined, and I think it's 13 states still to this point that I report.
So I think the big picture is the Democrats, they put out this image that they're the advocates of for the people, um, where in reality they're advocates for corporate interests, foreign NGOs, and everything but the American people. The American people, if we keep getting them power, we're going to keep getting the short end of the stick. We're already getting the short end of the stick. Um, but we keep on, and we're going to reach the point where it's just going to be like Event Horizon, the black hole behind me, like the black hole behind me. Um, we're going to reach the point where I don't, I, we may not be able to do anything about it, and it's just going to be like um, physics, the inevitable conclusion. And so, yeah, I think that's something people need to think about. Like, um, there's the idea of perception versus reality, and I think the perception and the disconnect between perception and reality can be reconciled by a looking at the policies that one party puts forth and the other party. And I'm not talking about neocons. I'm not talking about conservatism Inc. I'm talking about America first. We need policy that is more um, attuned to the interests of the American people, and we're talking about lower class, middle class, and tax breaks for entrepreneurs. That's good. We want to fuel innovation, and we don't want people to be penalized for taking a business venture, and we want them to be able to profit from that. But we're not talking about, the things that big tech's doing, like, they're taking advantage of Section 230, being a publisher essentially, when they were supposed to be a platform and give everybody a voice and apart from politics. But now they're doing this like editorialization and selective censorship. It's it's pretty blatant in how biased and arbitrary it is. So yeah, there's definitely been powers working against the American people, against us having a voice, against us, you know, being prosperous, against us having a future, and against us being competitive in the world theater. Like we got two powers. We got China and the USA. Now, um, China is essentially a dictatorship, and they've been oppressive, stifling free speech within their nation, and having their social media credit score and things like that. Like if you go against the party, guess what? You're gonna get dinged on your social media credit. I've seen like apolitical YouTubers putting in reports about having to escape from like CCP China and Hong Kong, and so like which power would you prefer being at the top? Yeah, I'm American, but I know that at the core there's we have a constitutional republic where people, when things are working, ideally we have a voice and we can prevent um, you know go- government from becoming tyrannical. There's processes in place, and when all else fails, we got our Second Amendment to rise up against a tyrannical government. Sure, they got drones. Sure, they got this and that. But if it comes down to it, it's better. It's better than nothing. You're in a better place, um, as far as power wise, than a citizen of China. They basically, you can't oppose the party. Opposing the party is basically treason under their system. So it seems like a no-brainer. We want to work to keep America strong, keep America's military funded, so we can be competitive in the world theater. And we see, China. They've been flexing, and what's it there in the Philippines? They've been flexing. They've been their people have been doing illegal fishing in other territories that they're not supposed to be in, and just like under the assumption that, oh, you ain't gonna do shit, bitch, to like other sovereign nations. And that's why we need a strong America to kind of keep them in check, keep them humble. And yeah, we need to be humble too. Like all the freaking forever wars that America was embroiled in, for oil, for corporate interests, like that was some bullshit. And that's why we need changes in Washington. That's why we need advocates for the people and not advocates for their own wallet. Um, so like I'm kind of going off the dome here, but I think this is the reality. This is the reality before us. Um, and and again, we've had our forefathers that fought. They spilled and shed their blood for our future. So let's do what we can to preserve it. And to be frank, that's voting for the maverick in office right now. Give him 4 more years. We've gotten through this four. We've seen some good changes. Um, so let's see what he'll do when he doesn't have to worry about his reelection. Take off the gloves of the deep state, drain the swamp, do all those things to give the power back to the people, to restore the balance. That's what we need. All right, let's see what Vince is saying right here.
I talked about this when this first came out about 2 years ago, but about 13 states are on board where they have agreed to supply their electoral vote to the presidential candidate that wins the popular vote nationwide instead of the popular vote within their state. So currently, we have things that are called bind electors, where states have to vote with the candidate in the presidential election that wins the popular vote within their state. Well, these 13 states have agreed to provide their electoral vote to the candidate who wins the.
All right, summary. So yeah, he's basically saying these electors are gonna. And I would think, yeah, my grandfather's one of the electors, but he is a staunch Democrat. I've tried, uh, to reason with him, and he is convinced that he was a social worker before, that oh, it's the GOP that has been taking away like mental health services, and not all the problems that we have with criminality are a result of mental health, and that's a bit of the um, that's it's a fallacy of thought and understanding of how people are. Um, so there are mental health issues. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time there are some people out there with criminal disposition that will hurt others, and so it's kind of like where do we draw the line between mental health and a person being culpable? That they have agency. So yeah, I kind of disagree with my grandfather. I have people in my family that have like taken advantage for years. They had substance abuse and and I'm inclined to hold them accountable because it's just only so much. If they're like completely bouncing off the walls, batshit crazy, I might be able to hear an argument, but um, when there's some premeditation in their actions, that's when like, all right, there's some agency there, and hold them accountable. But nevertheless, that's a rabbit hole. He and I, we don't see eye to eye on that, and he's an elector. But so we're talking about this balance against your coastal metropolises that they have like a kind of different way of life than rural America, and and they have different interests, and that's why. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay. Can you hold up? Um, so that's why we have the electoral college in place. Otherwise, our elections will be determined by these coastal metropolises, and not everybody lives in an environment like that. And different environments have different needs, and so that's basically how it goes. I mean, you can see exhaustive arguments as to why we need the electoral college that are probably buried in the YouTube drivel as to why we should be a mob rule democracy, and just the you know it's worked for um, 200. How what's the 1775? How old is the U.S.? How old is the U.S.? Now I'm kind of getting a rambling stage. Um, 244. Um, and now they want to change it. Yeah, it's because they've been working on this plan that they can get all these foreigners into these coastal metropolises, um, where they have most of them are Democrat, um, Democrat ran cities, and but I guess it's more of a logistical challenge to get them spread out throughout America. I'm not saying that they wouldn't do it. If it means them getting power, then yeah, of course they'll do it. But um, I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is, you know, do your own research. Um, I think Trump is our guy, and this is it. I think polls are closing, so I hope you've made a case that is educated and well seasoned by arguments from both sides. But as far as long as it's not like um, the MSM, my grandpa, he watches a lot of CNN, so obviously the conclusions that he draws are going to be consistent. I like to watch a lot of independent journalists, people that are, I guess, more pristine, not corrupted by the big money of Soros or the Koch brothers. Um, you know, I mean, look at like our conspiracy. Look at conspiracy subs, like this stuff that's going on. A lot of it hidden in plain sight. It should be disturbing, and it should be all the more reason for us to vote against those that are in league with the deep state personalities that have been. I mean, Epstein didn't kill himself. Um, they wanna label everything. If you watch some Sam Hyde, is it's just conspiracy theory. It's like flat Earth, or oh, if you um, assent to this idea, then you must be like a crazy cultist that's getting ready to sip on the Kool-Aid, and it's really that's not the case at all. Um, I mean, there's just overwhelming evidence, and it's just all over the place. It's too much for them to cover up, although they try. Through, I mean, like if they didn't have anything to hide, why would they have to be so ardent about censorship? I think that's an argument in itself, and I don't have to make it. You just have to see what they're doing. Um, So, anyways, that's all I got for now. I'm gonna try to hop on a developmental live stream. I'm working on the blockchain, folks. I'm trying to get a decentralized community moderation, get that out there. Content moderation as a service, so we don't have to worry about these centralized big tech parties censoring. Like, hey, if it's there's certain things that we can all have consensus on, whether we're left or right. Like CP, that's definitely gotta go bye bye. Get rid of the freaking CP. Get rid of uh, like I guess your rotten.com sort of videos. Like, I mean, not safe for life. I mean, it depends on the form. If that's the platform for that sort of thing, okay. But like if it's a platform kids are perusing, then obviously you don't want like um, porn that's not tagged, things that are uh, again like spam, plagiarism, like all this stuff out there. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. And besides the whole, you know, my passion for my preserving my nation for my two little ones, my two daughters. I work with tech, blockchain tech, and that's the future. So I mean, I highly encourage check out Hive. I'm gonna put a link in the description. If you want to get started on the chain, I'll support you. Just hit me up. But it's time for the people to take their power back, and we have the options. We have the tools at our disposal. We just got to exercise them, and that includes the right to vote. So get out there and do that. All right, peace.